Welcome back everybody to Tulio's Studio, and today I'll be showing you guys how to make a simple Mandalorian helmet. I made mine a small size, but you can make yours any size you want. So in today's video I'll be making 3 different helmets. I'll be making Pre-Vizslas, Jango Fett's Death Watch Super Commando, I think I'm right. So it's a basic idea and it requires a lot of painting for the helmet details. But I hope you guys find this video useful, so let's get into it. So I'm starting off with some dark gray clay I made with some black and silver. And I'm just molding it into like a flat sausage, and then I'm just cutting out the shape of the helmet that I want. Just rounding off the edges, so this will be the front of the helmet. We're going to make the front first, and then we'll make the back later. Cutting off a little bit of the back because I want it to be a little bit thinner. Just rounding off the top. Yeah, I just cut off some of the top and rounded it off. And just making sure it's the way I want it. I'm cutting off the little sides, I'm not sure what you call them. Cutting little bits off, like half circles on the sides of the mask. Just sort of smoothed it down so that it's not tight. Going through again with my sculpting tool, making sure that it's all smooth. Adding a bump right there because that's where the visor will start. Just using my sculpting tool for that. Just touching up a little bit of the side of the helmet again. Just trimming off the bottom. So after that's baked, I'm just adding a little bit more wet clay to the back of it. And that will be like the back of the head. Just trimming that off because the back of the head should be shorter than the front. At least that's how the helmets are. Just making sure that's right. That side was a little bit off, so just trim that off a little bit. Going over with my bigger sculpting tool to make sure that it's good. I'm just sort of trimming a little bit off the sides, and that's where the sides of the helmet will go. I'm not really sure what you'd call them. Trimming off a small part of the sides just to make it look more like the reference picture I was using. Doing the same on the other side. And just sticking a little bit of clay right there to cover up the lighter spot, which it makes when you cut away the clay when it's already cooked. Just making sure that's attached, doing the same to the other side. Now I'm making the side of the helmet, just flattening out some clay, making sure it's this exact width I want it, and then just sticking that there. That's a better view, you can see the side of it. Just going over it again with my bigger modeling tool, making sure that it's flat and straight, making the next one for the next side, going over it again. Just making sure that everything's right before we put it in the oven for the final bake. Here's all the paint, brushes, and here I'm using my razor. I'm cutting down my toothpick to be more of a chisel, and that will help with small paint details. Adding a little bit of blue to the side of the helmet. This will be Pre-Vizslas. Or Pre-Vizslas, I don't know how you pronounce it. Mix up some green and white to make a lighter green. But then I realized later on that I should have mixed up some green and yellow to make the color that I wanted. So, just making the small claw-like details. And here I'm making the visor. It's black. Just adding that to it. Using my paintbrush to get bigger, to get more paint into the details so it won't take me as long. You want to be careful so you don't get too much paint out of the line. Getting that done. So the Mandalorian helmets I made are all the same. It's still this basic way that I showed you how to make them in the beginning. The only difference between them is the painting, but I'm not going to bore you with all that because you guys can paint them the way you want them. I will make the rangefinder, which is the little thing that Boba Fett and Jango Fett have. So let's get back to the video. Here I'm making the rangefinder, so I just attached a little bit of wire to the side of the helmet and made a little clay, I shaped a little piece of clay to look like the rangefinder, just gluing it into the helmet, making sure that it's attached, adding a little bit of glue on the top of the wire, and then attaching the rangefinder. There we go. So here's the 3 helmets I made. I have a Super Commando, Pre-Vizsla, and Jango Fett. Now just adding some glaze. Oops, added a little bit too much. Have to wipe that away. So the glaze will make it more shiny and it will give it a shiny effect. Just putting that on. Just trying to dry it off quicker. Putting some on the rangefinder. Adding some glaze to the Super Commando. And like I said earlier, the helmet design is the same. It just, whatever painting you want to do on it, you can do that all yourself. I mean, you can do any paint you want. Any style, I mean. Adding a little bit of glaze to Pre-Vizslas. I think we're done. So you guys enjoyed today's video where I made the Mandalorian masks. I hope you found it useful. I had fun making it. I hope you guys had fun watching it. And let me know if there's any other characters from Nintendo or any other movie you'd like me to make, because I'm open to new ideas. As always, like or dislike with anything you've liked or disliked. Hit the subscribe button, comment down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.